It is a quiet morning at the St. Augustine, Florida airport when the tower receives an emergency call. A private plane is limping in with only 2 of its 3 landing wheels in place. The pilot is facing a potentially disastrous landing. Operations manager Jim Moser calls on mechanic Joe Lippo for help.
Me and Jim got in another airplane and flew up under him. And we had him operate the gear at that time, and we could see that the other 2 legs were functioning fine, but that right main, when he went to put it down, would only drop out of the well just about 2 or 3 inches and stop.
Joe and Jim advise the pilot to stay calm while they come up with a rescue plan. The pilot, Scott Gordon, knows that his fuel will soon run out. He needs to be rescued, and fast.
And we decided we'd take a flatbed trailer and tow it with a pickup truck. And if it was possible to get the trailer and the truck going fast enough, Scott could land on the good wheel, and we'd let the wing cradle itself onto the trailer.
It is technically possible, but very dangerous.
We're not going to try to land on it now, but I'm just going to see how fast this truck will go, and you go ahead and lower the main and the nose and see what it feels like to you.
The plan calls for Joe to race a flatbed truck down the runway at 90 miles per hour. Scott will try to land his plane on only 2 of its wheels, while resting the right wing on the back of the truck.
The truck didn't have enough power to get up to the speed we needed, and we couldn't get the timing right because the truck didn't have the acceleration.
With no time to spare, Joe devises an even more daring plan. It's a long shot, but at least it's a chance.
Scott went by, and he was right beside the truck and the trailer, and the wheel was right there. And when we got back down to the other end of the runway, I said, have him do that again. It's so close, I'll reach up and pull it down.
Joe and Jim have to work fast. If they can match the speed of their car with the speed of the plane, and if Scott can hold his altitude to exactly 10 feet, then Joe might be able to reach up and manually pull the disabled wheel down by himself.
The biggest problem is the air was rather turbulent that day, and besides the airplane jumping left and right, it was also pitching slightly.
Remember, the car and the plane must travel down the runway at exactly the same speed. It is a dangerous maneuver. Joe's head is just inches from the propeller.
Talked to Scott on the radio, had him lower himself down 2 or 3 feet to a comfortable position.
When I first got my hand around the wheel, it didn't seem like I had a good grip on it, and Scott settled it just a few more inches down, and I was able to crawl my fingers around the top of the tire.
It's like all of a sudden he grew a foot. He just kept growing.
I was able to get my hand around the top and yank it for everything it was worth, and it popped loose and came down.
Scott called that he had what's called a green light, that he had the gear was down and locked. It turned out that the banging was actually Joe, and his excitement was banging his hands on the top of the car, on the roof.
Adrenaline was flowing, the heart was beating. It was, you were up there, believe me. You know, the old saying is you're famous for 15 minutes of your life, and it took 15 minutes to pull that off, I guess, and that was my 15 minutes of fame.
Scott circles the airport and makes an uneventful landing, thanks to the quick thinking of his friends.
It's a first for me, but it's better than tearing up the belly of the airplane, so it worked, and everything turned out fine.